Origin of thought. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed our thoughts appear to originate from perceiving a flow of energy we sense at some level or in some aspect of our being. Then, through our human mind and its creative imagination, this energy is converted into thoughts, or mind can be seen to create or manifest thoughts. We then, as a human, have the option to do what we wish with the thought we generate. We, of course, can respond in unawareness to the thought in some way, or we can respond in awareness. In awareness, we can choose to act on the thought, dismiss the thought, contemplate the thought in some way, or be led to another or other thoughts as a result of the thought we generate. Probably the simplest way to see energy giving rise to thought is just consider anything you consciously feel in your body. It will give rise to a thought about or concerning what is felt. Or if something like pain is felt, it may first involve a reflex response to what is felt and then followed by a thought about what was felt after the response. Generating a thought as a result of a feeling occurs at every level of our being, and often thoughts arise from feelings we are not aware of what we are feeling. That is, the thought seems to appear with no apparent feeling of any energy. To our human mind, we may think our thoughts are random, but they arise from some energy we are experiencing somewhere within our being. We just are not aware of the feeling. The key understanding about creating the origin of thought is to realize everything we experience, no matter what it is, arises as a result of a flow of energy. Without the movement a flow of energy provides, there is nothing to observe. In any given situation we face, if we are mindful and aware and open to feeling, we can discern and feel the flow of energy giving rise to the experience we have and the thoughts it generates. What needs to be understood here is that all thoughts arise from an energy that is characterized by our mind. This includes the thoughts, concepts, ideas, images, or whatever we experience in our mind. On this point, everything arises from a flow of energy. Here it needs to be noted there is a flow of energy that sustains our being. It will always be with us, and its flow will carry us until the energy is in some way dissipated and we die. Until then, this energy will give rise to thoughts. It will lead us through the experiences we incarnated to have. The body is a marvelous sensing device. It is capable of sensing subtle differences of energy within our environment and our being if we are paying attention and aware of what we feel. As a creative tool, accessing the energy of creation to create thoughts, we can look at the mind and body like a radio. Relative to radios, at any given instant there are numerous radio signals passing through the radio antenna, but the radio only picks up those signals for the frequencies for which the antenna and the receiver are designed. For example, the different designs for an AM antenna and a receiver, and the FM antenna and receiver. As with radio, there may be some stray signals of noise, but the radio receiver will be concentrated on the signal we select by tuning our radio. In doing so, we will extract the information in the energy signal and hear the particular broadcast associated with the radio signal we select. Sometimes we only get static because there is no signal to receive, or we are too far from the station to receive it, or there is some interference that masks the signal. Nevertheless, we will receive the signal to which we tune the receiver. Relative to the discussion of radio signals, here it needs to be noted all communication is energy-based. Any flow of energy, as a minimum, carries information about the origin of the flow. It is only a matter of knowing how to extract the information carried by the energy. When viewed from the perspective of the human being, analogous to the radio, the structure of the body is like an antenna. It has been designed to receive and detect a certain range of energies. As an antenna, our body is especially designed for sensing and amplifying a particular type and kind of energy or range of energies that ultimately determine our receptiveness to having an experience of physical creation as a human being. That is, because of our body, the energy we normally sense tends to hold our awareness localized in a physical experience of a human being. Alternatively said, our body causes us to interpret the energy we sense into thoughts about being a human being as opposed to being some other life form in physical creation or as an infinite creator and routinely going to other realms of creation. The mind is analogous to the receiver of the radio, which can be tuned to a particular energy. What we think and believe, the experiences we have, the environment in which we find ourselves, and how we focus our attention and awareness in what we think and believe tunes the receiver and determines the particular thoughts we have for a particular energy we sensed. As with the body, our human mind also is designed to interpret the energy we sense into thoughts about being a human being as opposed to some other life form or as an infinite creator and routinely going to other realms of creation. Although it is possible to step outside the normal range of energies for which the body and mind were designed, what is accessed and characterized is still biased by the human interpretation of the information carried in that energy. Within the creativity perspective, at the simplest level, is our thoughts can be seen as simply our mind characterizing, describing, or otherwise somehow explaining the energy we perceive at some level of our being. Whether that thought is experienced as an idea, an image, a vision, or awareness of knowing something without being able to explain what it is we know doesn't matter. The thought is simply our mind playing with the energy we experience. In this regard, thoughts are simply our consciousness at play with the energy our consciousness experiences. The mind's characterization is based on mind converting the energy we sense into thoughts through our creative imagination. Our creative imagination characterizes the energy it uses based on what we think, believe, the experiences we have had in this and previous existences, our current environment, how we have focused our attention and awareness, and our underlying intention for which we hold some passion, desire, or will to make happen. Each of these aspects influence the characterization of the energy into thoughts. By varying one or more of these aspects, we can change the thought which is generated by a given energy. As a starting point, to look at our creative imagination and how we can change the thoughts we generate is a discussion on the topic, the human being is a creativity machine. The energy we access from which our thoughts appear to originate arise from two sources. One source, that which is most familiar to us as human beings, utilize the existing flow of energy within creation. Like the radio signals, there are swarms of energy which we can access. It is to convert the energy we sense as a human being into thoughts utilizing our mind and our creative imagination as discussed above. Further discussion of the existing flows of energy within creation begins in the discussion origin of thought through energy conversion. The second source is where we step into the role of a creator, is to create thoughts through the ability of focusing our attention and awareness and the power of our intention. This second method, in essence, is the cause-effect relationship. It is where the focused attention and awareness of our consciousness becomes the cause, with the resulting effect being the creation of a flow of energy, which consciousness, through its creative imagination, then converts into a thought on which we can choose to act. Further discussion on creating a flow of energy is discussed in Origins of Thought through Causal Consciousness. In either case, the energy available from these two sources are characterized by the mind in the same way through our creative imagination.